And now, live in studio, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
And yes, here we are again, another day committed to being your consumer advocate. We like to help you save time and money when it comes to your buying decisions. We make you more street smart here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. It's all about you, our listener, our radio family out there. We greatly appreciate everybody who reached out last week as well. Lots of calls coming in. Folks want to get hooked up with our expert contributors. We got over 50 show partners, 80 categories of consumer advocate content and advice right here on the program. So we do it all as a way to help you understand your buying decisions, make you more street smart. Reach out to the hotline. We would love to connect with you. 813-750-0550. You can call or text that line. It's an off-air number, 813-750-0550. Call or text the hotline. Any questions, comments you have, we'd love to hear from you on the program. Lots of people did call in last week, so we really appreciate that. Supporting the show partners. You know, we'd love to promote commerce within our show here in the family. So CPAs, financial advisors, several types of attorneys associated with the show, all types of great home service providers as well here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'd like to help you win, and that's our goal on the program, is to help you win. Quick shout out to our official hotel partner of the Consumer Quarterback Show. That's the Bilmar Beach Resort over on Treasure Island. And it's not a cookie cutter hotel. You know, a lot of the chain hotels are all the same. This is 2 pools on site, Sloppy Joe's Beach Bar and Restaurant. You've got a huge beach. Clyde Smith, the general manager, he calls it a 2-beer beach. It takes you 2 beers to get all the way down to the water. Just one of these beautiful beaches in Tampa Bay. And it's a great place to enjoy your weekends for a staycation or even longer. Bilmar Beach Resort. Say hello to Clyde Smith and the team over there, and make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you. Take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. And we got some cool stories for you today. One is an interesting about a veteran that donates 36 acres of land to build a retreat for homeless veterans struggling with addiction. Pretty cool story in our Feel Good story of the day. Also going to talk about Charles Barkley quitting inside the NBA at 60, blames cancel culture. Can't have fun nowadays, he says. So I agree with him. So it's going to be interesting there. Plus, we got a great lineup. Fred Muth, contractor, expert contributor on the program, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Our friend Alex Lima as well, Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts, Blackbelt _ Jitsu, self-defense martial arts fitness as well. And in studio right now, we've got Sam WHYEL. Did I say that right?
WHYEL, yes, sir.
WHYEL, okay. Med6Supply Medical Distribution. He's partnered up with Brian Gordon, another one of the friends of the program. Welcome in.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Awesome.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, good stuff. Tell us a little bit about you're working with Brian now. You guys partnered up on this company.
Yeah, we sure did. We got together a little while ago, and we're officially launching July 1st. We're expecting a nice contract with the local physician group.
Cool.
44 offices here in town, and we're going to support all of the local healthcare providers. So to start with, professional providers, physicians, physician clinics, walk-in clinics, ambulatory, some hospital, long-term care facilities, all folks that are in need of those products on a regular basis, looking to save some money on those products and get expert delivery.
Nice. Okay, so that's an interesting place. So the healthcare industry, in a sense, the office supply, you're supplying medical supplies to these different offices?
So medical surgical supplies.
Surgical supplies.
Yeah, medical surgical supplies is the primary category. It affects various categories out of that large area, right? So things that are patient related, wound care related, diabetic supplies, things that people are going to use for different types of ailments and or medical treatments or for preventative maintenance as well.
Interesting. So what was your take then last year? You know, we had the pandemic come down. People were looking for the N95 mask they were talking about. And, of course, the Fauci flip-flop. Oh, you don't need a mask. Well, yeah, you do need a mask. Let's put 2 or 3 of them on. Let's all wear a face diaper. What was your take on the whole, some people call it a plandemic, how it all rolled out, and then, of course, the medical response to it?
Well, let's face it, when you have a global pandemic like this and an immediate impact on the supplies that are used to try to prevent the spread of the disease, to keep people safe globally, I think a couple of things we've learned from it, right? So one of the things we learned from it is that we as a country have a little bit too much demand outside of our walls, outside of our borders.
Yeah, exactly. We were getting everything from China.
Bringing more manufacturing back to the U.S. on critical supplies, I think is valuable.
Yeah.
And we learned that lesson pretty readily. From
before the pandemic too. If you look at all of the or majority of, sometimes I say all and never, you shouldn't really say that. It should, a majority or a large supply of the antibiotics made in China. A lot
or
of the
India, yes.
Yeah, exactly. So we need to be more independent in that sense. Also, going back to the fuel industry and the gas and oil, same thing. So it seems like again that back to, I want to get your insights on it as well further. And that goes right on down the line to the mask and everything else.
Yeah, I think one of the unfortunate parts that we saw about it from the pandemic is the response is kind of over the top. And these things, supply and demand is what it is. It's supply and demand, right? And demand went well beyond supply in a very short period of time, literally days, right? So it's going to take regardless of where everything's coming from, it's going to take a little bit of time just to get the supply available to meet that massive demand that occurred, right? But in that process, I think we allowed things to happen that should not have happened, in my opinion, right? So hand sanitizer, everybody would want to get hand sanitizer. Well, there's only so many suppliers of hand sanitizer to begin with. You can't spin up hundreds of new companies inside of a week to make hand sanitizer and expect to have good, high-quality, effective product that meets the regulatory demands of what is a registered over-the-counter drug,
right?
Which is what hand sanitizer is. The same thing with the masks and the gowns and all of the protective gear and equipment and supplies that is associated with trying to keep everybody as safe as they can be. So I think some of the lessons there too are, common sense sometimes applies better. Wash your hands, keep your distance. If you got symptoms, stay away from other folks. Those are good common sense approaches. When you try to overregulate it, I'm not quite sure that the outcome is effective.
Yeah, and one of the main challenges, of course, we're facing here in the great United States of America is the overreach, the activism of the mainstream media, these multinational corporations that are, their beds, they've got the lobbyists, they've got the politicians, they've got all the different, scenarios there. You've got the New York Times that are in bed with the CNN anchors, and they're on the Secretary of State for, all these different connections with politics. And, that's what you hear about Washington, D.C., drain the swamp and all those things. So then, they create hysteria, so it's an interesting play as well on CNN. If you look at, during the Trump presidency, it was all about cases and then deaths, it was 1/3 of the screen. And then, of course, now completely different screen. It might be allocated to a small amount and it's talking about vaccinated, so it's a negative spin versus a positive spin. So that kind of stuff just really hurts so many people. And then what they also didn't talk about was the depression, the number of suicides, the increase in alcoholism, drug use, all of those types. Homelessness has gone up. A lot of negative things have gone up. By the way, what happened to heart attack rates and cancer rates? That lost track. What happened to the opioids? So there's a lot. When you think about the medical industry, and of course, you're with surgical supplies, more or less into that industry, this is all an interesting play. And then the FDA is involved with certain drugs being approved. Correct. So it's a lot of information there.
There really is a lot of information. There's no doubt about it. And misinformation is just that, right? It's misinformation. Ultimately, nobody wins from that. And I think we as people, kind of we as voters and we as consumers, have to do our level best to make sure that we don't get sucked into the misinformation.
Right.
Do our best to educate ourselves. Employ some common sense and get through what we have to get through for ourselves, for our friends, for our families, etc.
Yeah, and do some research and try to find good sources and look at different sources of information. I think that's the key to me. People just plug into the one or two sites. They're going to go to CNN, MSDNC. They laughingly call it, or you're to flip flop your Fox and Newsmax and so you've got to figure out, and that's a shame on our media being like that. But if you look at Town Hall, Salem Radio, I mean, there's a lot of great hosts on this station, and it's hard to argue the facts of look at what. All of the hoax that have come out that have been proven false.
Right.
So many people get caught up with these things. But if you just joined us, we're talking with Sam WHYEL here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Med6Supply, medical distribution company, surgical supplies. He's partnered up with our friend Brian Gordon from Tactical Society here as well. And also, Brian was introduced through Florida Firearms Academy. Thomas King, who was just on the show. He just left studio here.
I saw him at the parking lot.
Did you see him? Okay, cool.
I did, yeah.
That's awesome. So what else is topical, my friend?
Well, I think for us, launching a new company, one of the things that we're a little proud of is the fact that you talk about misinformation, you talk about technology. One of the things that I think technology does is take a little bit of the human element out of transacting business. And so we're kind of staying focused on the human element. So for us, it's about people, our customer and their people, and our suppliers and their people, and keeping that kind of in the forefront of the decision-making process that we make on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So if it's good for everybody, then it's good for everybody. Process is also important, and that's where we've got cutting-edge technology and being able to deliver. The objective is the right product in the right unit of measure, delivered at the right place at the right time. And so technology is helping us do that. And we're going to use the strength of that and the cutting edge processes that we have behind the scenes that help deliver that for the customer. Ultimately, that saves them money. So
that logistics, is that what you're referring to?
Well, it is partly logistics. It's partly the process of just ordering supplies, being able to manage your supplies, manage the users of your supplies, and all of that working in concert seamlessly, effortlessly, and being able to increase the operational efficiencies of your practice. Local physicians are under massive amounts of pressure. Cuts happening on reimbursements of goods on a regular basis, on lab work that they do to run diagnostics for you. They're under constant pressure. I mean, malpractice lawsuits, all of the things that help bring down the overall profitability, the overall effectiveness, and keep you away from doing what you do, which is provide care. At the end of the day, you go to get care, to get treatment, and to improve yourself. If you have severe medical conditions, obviously those things have to get the best possible medical providers doing what they do best on you, and not worrying about all the other stuff. And so that's a big part of what we're trying to help with technology, to use that piece. And then lastly, it's about the products, right? There's new products every day, trying to find local manufacturers of products so that the distance that we travel to help cut down on the expense of travel expense of moving freight, so we can reduce some of those expenses. All of those things working in concert, providing a better cost structure, better efficiency, and just overall better experience for our customers, the providers, the physicians, the clinics, the hospitals, the nursing homes, et cetera. And then, of course, for us as patients everywhere, too.
Nice.
Yeah.
All right, good stuff. Thanks for coming in, my friend. Check them out online. What's the best place for people to find you?
Med6Supply.com.
Med6Supply.com.
Right.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Very
listen,
cool.
Minority, veteran-owned business right here in Tampa Bay, trying to help our community the best we can.
I love it. Good stuff. And Brian Gordon's good people, too. Man.
Absolutely.
Keep supporting a good team here.
Right on.
All right, good stuff, Sam. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right, coming up, Alex Lima, Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts, self-defense, martial arts, fitness. It can be fun to be in shape and to work out with him and his studio. And also, we're going to talk a bit about this Charles Barkley story. He's quitting the Inside the NBA at 60, blames cancel culture. Can't have fun nowadays. I know some people have felt like that. And find out about that more here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Follow us online. We would love to connect with you. Our YouTube channel has over 1,200 videos on our YouTube channel. Lots of great information as well at Brandon Rhymes Realty on YouTube. We'll be right back after this short break.
Thanks for listening to My Daddy's Show. For more information, go to consumerqb.com.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking with us. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. And we like to talk about some of our hot listings here on the program. 117 14th Street in Bel Air. This is a new property that hasn't even hit the market yet. It's 117 14th Street, Bel Air. Beautiful property. This is a home that has the designer's touch. The owner is a designer. It's got a pool in the back, double lot on the beach. Beautiful property, 117 14th Street. Reach out to the hotline if you'd like to see information about that property or hear more about that property. 813-750-0550. You can call or text that line, 813-750-0550. Of course, if you want to get an introduction to any of our expert contributors, that's the hotline, consumerqb.com. Also, we got a property here at 1780 Clearwater Largo Road. This is a corner lot commercial property right here in Tampa Bay. It's on a major thoroughfare in Pinellas County. Great opportunity for a 1031 exchange investment right here in Tampa Bay. 1780 Clearwater Largo Road. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com.
This is God's country.
And a quick shout out to Chad Irrigation. If you're looking to add irrigation to your home or any of your real estate properties, they can help you access the irrigation maybe from a lake or a pond nearby, pull it out of a well, or attach to the city or county water supply that you have. Chad Irrigation, Victor and his team do such a great job. Reach out to Victor and his team at Chad Irrigation, and make sure you let them know the Real Estate Quarterback sent you, so you can take them up on special offers and incentives just by mentioning that you're a fan of the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, Alex Lima's in the house, Blackbelt Fitness. Welcome back in.
What's up, man?
How you doing?
Hanging out. You got the best beard in martial arts here in the studio with you.
There you go. Boom. Just like that.
That's it. I got a gray hair on it for every soul I've taken in battle. So,
there you go. I like it. That's good, man. Blackbelt_jitsu. That's your Instagram?
That's Instagram. That's like my social media handle. You can always look up hashtag Blackbelt Fitness Tampa, or just Google, Blackbelt Jones. I'm
Cool.
not hard to find.
So what's new in your world, man?
Man, I'm getting again, due to the pandemic, a lot of things kind of slowed down for a while for me. But I would say one of the hardest hits I took was I was not able to do a lot of charity work, and I love doing things in the community. So now I'm able to get out there. We've got a couple of things in the works. I'm working with some specialty clients as far as people with disabilities and stuff. And the competition circuit is opening up again, and I actually started training camp on Monday. So I'm ready, man. I want to do something. So
Nice. So training. So you're opening training camp up?
No, I'm in a training camp. I'm getting my body ready to compete and do some stuff coming up within the next couple months or so. I'm going to put myself through a solid 3 to 5 months of fine-tuning, getting my strength and conditioning back into fight shape. I'm always in shape, but there's a difference when you're in fight shape.
Right.
And so I'm doing that and training hard with some good partners, and ready to sign up for something. Hopefully by next week I'll have something signed and ready to go.
That'd be awesome, man.
Yeah, man.
What do you think about this new phenomenon too? It just seems kind of like, so you have, for example, like you have the UFC, of course, and you have WWE, WWF wrestling. WWF became WWE.
Yeah.
Ken Shamrock, like for example, this is one of our friends we've talked about.
Yeah.
But now you have these YouTubers like Logan Paul or whatever the name is. He's got millions of followers. So they're setting up these fights between these guys. They're not really the tip top of the fight world. But explain to us what that is about and what that phenomenon is.
I knew you were going there.
Yeah.
with
Well,
this
my
thing.
daughter shows it to me on TikTok. Oh, check this out. This is this guy, and he said he's going to beat him, and he said he would beat him in a fight. But so everybody's buying into the whole WWW, or FEF, WWF type entertainment talk. Yeah.
Yeah. So I actually made a post about this not that long ago. My thoughts on it specifically are, so for one, kudos for them for putting themselves in a position enough to where they have enough influence in order to sell a fight. Because that's what happens with a lot of fighters. You may have a fighter that's got an amazing skill set, but he's not marketable. You got these guys with a garbage skill set, but they're highly, popular on YouTube and Instagram and stuff,
right.
so they're able to market. So they put themselves into a position to get these big money, quote unquote, fights.
Yeah.
They're not fights. This stuff that's going on Triller, they're exhibition matches. So any listener that doesn't know what that is, it just basically means it's a glorified sparring match. It doesn't count against your professional record. Okay. And these guys are just, it's entertainment. This Triller stuff is the WWE, like you're saying, of like the boxing and fight world.
Right.
There is not a dimension that exists where Floyd Mayweather, a boxer that is 50-0, okay, undefeated, not including the Olympic record, okay, against some of the baddest men that have ever walked this planet, okay, Canelo, Pacquiao, all these guys, all these big names, where he goes the distance with a guy that is 0-1.
Yeah.
Okay. That lost to like some YouTube rapper from like England or something I've never heard of.
Yeah.
Okay. That dimension doesn't exist. It's a show. They basically pay him to, hey, carry this guy, make him look good so we can keep some money and some fights going.
Yeah.
Kudos to them from a business standpoint.
Yeah.
But it's disrespectful to real fighters and people that really put themselves on the line and have put in the work.
Yeah.
So now you're having problems in like the UFC and stuff like you mentioned, because these guys are like, wait, bro, I'm getting $250,000. This YouTuber made 20 mil.
Yeah.
Man, sign me up to fight these chumps all day.
Yeah.
I'll fight a YouTuber real quick, bro.
So
You
that's
can
what's
sign it up.
happening. I didn't realize
Yeah.
that.
Oh, yeah. It's creating tremendous controversy. You got guys pulling out of fights last minute because they're like, no, I want more pay. I just saw this guy get paid.
Yeah.
And Dana White, the CEO, the Vince McMahon of MMA, is essentially get more influence. Put yourself in a position where you can get those big money fights, and you'll get those paydays.
Isn't Dana kind of known for keeping a lot of the money at the top, though? Like not paying out very well?
Absolutely. In the end, what you have to realize is that it is a sport, but it is a business.
Yeah.
And it's all about money. And who, in the end, wants to make the most money? The business owner, the CEOs. Those are the guys, always. It trickles down. Now if you're a star employee and you make it up, then you get a little extra bonus, a little something extra. So one thing that is good is they've started giving bigger bonuses.
Yeah.
The typical bonus for like submission of the night, knockout of the night, fight of the night used to be like $50,000 on top of your purse, your prize money. Now it's like $75,000. Mm-hmm. It's nothing to laugh at. I'll take $75,000 all day. But when you look at a YouTuber that had a glorified sparring match and walked away with 20 mil, it's nauseating.
Yeah, or some of even and nothing against capitalism in a sense, but when you look at these basketball players and even some of these football players, football is a little bit you're taking a beating on your body. Basketball, you're shooting a ball through a hoop, you're dunking maybe.
Sure.
But comparing it to that, and these guys are going into fight every day. It just seems like there's a correlation there that could be a little bit more for the fighters.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, how much money do you put on your health, wellness, and your brain? For as far as concussion injuries and stuff goes, big price, I would say.
Yeah, exactly.
So these guys should be paid more.
Yeah.
That's.
When we come back, I want to talk about this cancel culture. Charles Barkley. I mean, he's the face of TNT, the NBA, and they talk about this cancel culture that just seems to never stop. It continues to grow, and Barkley's frustrated, and it's an interesting story. I just want to talk about that when we come back. We'll kind of kick that around, and then also give people an opportunity to work out with you. I want to talk about what type of opportunities they have if they do want to get in shape, they want to work out, they want to learn self-defense. Protecting your family, protecting the home. Maybe you're not a firearm concealed carry person like I am, or Thomas King was, or on the show yesterday. But it's something where if you learn how to do the basics, you can at least get out of those scenarios. So Tom, we've got Alex in studio here, Alex Lima. He's going to talk about some basic scenarios and things that you can do to protect yourself right here on the program. We'll be right back after this short break. Don't go anywhere.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at consumerqb.com. listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-670-7372.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We help our sellers maximize the exposure on the sale of their real estate properties by featuring them live on air on our syndicated radio and TV show, 85 different outlets worldwide. And it's really an exposure piece for our sellers. We're getting multiple offers, highest and best bidding wars on many of our listings. And we would love to talk to you if you're buying, selling, or investing. Reach out to a top 1% ranked real estate team here in Tampa Bay. Out of 25,000 realtors, we're in the top 1%. We're in the top 200 of all realtors in Tampa Bay. We'd love to talk to you. We got investor opportunities as well, off-market opportunities. Or if you want to be introduced to any of our 50-plus show partners, we would love to talk to you. 813-750-0550. Call or text the hotline, 813-750-0550.
You used to call me on my cell phone.
1200 Gulf Boulevard. This is a Clearwater Beach penthouse for sale. Compliments of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. 1200 Gulf Boulevard, number 1805 at the Meridian. This is a condo, beautiful property, 4,000 square feet, 3 separate terraces. You almost have like 360-degree views. You got the intercoastal waterways. Beautiful property, resort-style amenities here. I mean, it's like living at a Ritz-Carlton at this property. You've got the pools, the fitness center on site, game rooms, lots of fun stuff, billiards. Great opportunity to own real estate here in Tampa Bay. And you can see all of our listings at platinummvpteam.kw.com. All right, we're back here in studio. Shout out to Veteran Gutters, Brandon Porter and his team. They do a great job. Veteran Gutters, they are he's a veteran, and they have American-made products for all of their gutter systems that they install on roofs, residential, commercial properties. I think they're big out in East Hillsborough County. They live in Riverview, I believe. Brandon Porter and his team, Veteran Gutters. Make sure you let them know the real estate quarterback sent you. Take them up on those special offers. All right, we got our friend Alex Lima in studio, Blackbelt Fitness and Martial Arts. Let's talk about getting in shape, having fun while doing it, but also being able to kick some butt if you have to.
Yeah, man. I mean, I actually saw a post as I was waiting to come in and do the show. Somebody had asked, hey, what's the best martial art to get into if you're looking for fitness? Well, to answer that question, I don't know if that person's watching, but hopefully they are. It's whatever's going to get you training consistently, whatever's going to get you in there a couple times a week. So if Kung Fu interests you for whatever reason, and it'll get you into the gym 3 or 4 times a week, go and do it. It's better than doing 1 day a week or no days a week of nothing.
Right.
But my personal belief is, find something. Now, it depends on what your goals are. You want to be in shape just so where like you can run around with your kids and play tag, or are you trying to get in shape like to be at a competition level? That's different. I believe in having a well-rounded approach, just how I approach mixed martial arts training. I approach my circuit training and my strength training. You have to have balance. So I believe in doing some striking, some grappling, and some self-defense work. I believe you have to have, you have to have endurance, you have to have strength, and you have to have flexibility. So you need to get in there. And see, that right there is a better sparring match than what happened with Floyd and Logan there.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's great, man.
Yeah, dude. So I mean, that's what we do. So these guys here, for instance, the video that we're watching is this is one of my heavyweights actually, more advanced guy. And so obviously we can go. My more advanced guys, we go a little bit harder. Not everybody that walks in goes that hard.
Right.
If someone wants to come in and train that hard and really learn how to throw some hands, you can do that. If you just want to come in and hit some pads and be in shape, we can do that as well.
Right.
Everybody has their own path, but the reality is everybody can participate in this stuff and benefit from it in some shape, way, or form. Absolutely.
And you come out feeling great. You got a nice sweat going. You're releasing endorphins. You can get some strength work in too if you want to do some weight science, some cardiovascular. You're working out. You're getting in shape. You're able to understand the dynamics of defending yourself, because a lot of times it's not just a one-on-one fight either.
No, it's not, and we do, depending on the client, or if it's a group session training. Sometimes I do scenario-based training where we have two against one or 3-on-1 to simulate those scenarios and situations. Because it's one thing to know how to hit some pads, and then it's another thing to be able to spar, and then it's another thing to be able to know if you can pull this stuff off while 2 and 3 guys are coming at you. which
Yeah.
unfortunately in society is a reality because, most people are cowards and they're not going to fight you one-on-one.
Right.
It's not a sport
Yeah.
when it's on the street or in real life. And a lot of my clients, I actually train quite a few guys that are private security. So I need to show them these defensive tactics where sometimes they have to go, against multiple opponents, or them teaming up together to take somebody down without really hurting them. I don't know if you saw recently, it was one of the bills that's being passed in Michigan. They're trying to reciprocate it and make it mandatory that now police officers, law enforcement officers, have to have at least a blue belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu.
Wow.
So that typically is at least a year to 2 years of training before you can be an officer of the law, and I think that's phenomenal.
That's pretty
That's
cool.
a year or two of training, of hands-on training of ground control and how to subdue somebody.
Wow.
Without essentially breaking them unless you absolutely have to.
Yeah.
And a lot of the times you see these incidents that online, police brutality, blah, blah, all this stuff. I'm not saying like it's not important, but it happens obviously, and it's a shame. But a lot of it is due to a lack of training and understanding of how to handle these situations.
Right.
So shame on them for not taking their job and their career seriously to seek further training.
Right.
And shame on those departments as well for not enforcing it and making it mandatory that they should have further training.
Training can definitely help, that's for sure. If you just joined us, we're talking with Alex Lima, Black Belt Fitness and Martial Arts here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, and longtime friend of the program. You can find him online, blackbelt_jitsu on all the social sites. I want to get to this story as well. Charles Barkley quitting inside the NBA at 60, blames cancel culture, says he can't have fun nowadays. So the story he talks about, an interview he did on The Fan in Washington, and Barkley, 58, who said he's going to stop with his long-running joke. The network said, hey, you got to calm down on some of these jokes. You can't joke as much as you used to. And he says, quote, if you crack a joke the wrong way, they're like, oh, no, you crossed the line. And Barkley said, well, I mean, they won't even let me talk about San Antonio anymore when I'm always talking about their big old women down there in San Antonio. So it's it's kind of a funny type of joke. But, of course, nowadays you can't say anything that's marginally funny. The comedians have even said, I think even Dave Chappelle, a lot of these comedians have come out and said, oh, well, you can't even talk about jokes on the air anymore. So Charles Barkley, do you have any reaction to that, Alex? What's your reaction?
That's it's just insane the way that we're headed. My understanding too is he's been doing that show for like 20 years or something, 20 plus years. That's crazy to do something for 20 years. You enjoyed your job and now you want to walk away just because society sucks. To be honest with you,
yeah,
to
exactly.
be straightforward. I mean, I saw another thing where a comedian was on stage. You're going to a comedy show. You're going to get ripped on, right? If you go to a comedy show, right? And there's lots of different cultures, people, shape, sizes, and skin shades that are going to be in there. And this comedian was having a little fun with everybody.
Yeah.
And then finally, we'll call her Karen.
Yeah.
Okay. Karen had something to say about it, and he's like, ladies, shut up. He's like, this is a comedy show. This is what I do.
Or maybe Felicia, just call it.
Maybe Felicia or Karen.
Bye, Felicia.
There you go. Yeah, man. So I have always my entire life been the fish that swims against the current. I'm not gonna filter what I say.
Yeah.
So and I probably lose business sometimes because of that, because I won't accommodate a weaker personality or mindset, and that's what that is. People that this whole cancel culture is a weaker mindset and personality.
Yeah, exactly.
They can't handle it.
It's like Dennis Prager, one of the this all stars on our show, on our station here, syndicated host, 400 outlets, I believe. He teamed up with Adam Carolla, and they did a movie called No Safe Spaces, because they're trying to create these safe spaces on campus colleges.
Yeah.
No, you can't talk about that. This is a safe space. Yeah, it's just ridiculous, man.
It's absolutely ridiculous, and people don't understand the repercussions of this. Like, if this continues, I mean, so all of your future leaders, your government, your military leaders, if they don't get rid of the military and law enforcement, whatever they're going to decide to do,
Right.
Are going to be these weak-minded individuals that don't have thick skin and can't handle things when things get harsh.
Right.
It's ridiculous, and I'm not passing that on to my children or people that are in my circle. So
Yeah.
those kind of people aren't in my circle. They won't last very long. So,
Absolutely. Yeah, it's ridiculous. And, we've talked about this also. What about the man? What about the manly, masculine man? What about the men standing up to certain situations where, the school boards, there's been a big backlash in school boards lately. Have you seen some of the videos? I know Charlie Kirk, another all-star that's on our station, he's gone to some school boards. I mean, these people are authoritarians. They're coming in. They're at this point, okay, the Chinese virus, COVID, it hit. There was some confusion within the first 3 to 4 months, but now we know the facts. We know what happened. We know Fauci flip-flopped. We know a lot of these different things, and we know that a very small chance of dying, especially if you're below 50, 60 years old. Okay, so where are the men? I keep hearing that resounding, where are the men standing up and fighting? Where are the people that are going against the grain, like you said, swimming against the grain? Where are these guys at, standing up for people and standing up for patriotism and standing up for our rights in America?
Yeah, I'm a firm believer in all of that. Obviously, my YouTube channel is called, Blackbelt Jones Adventures in Manhood. It's all about manhood and just being a real man, and I guess that can be that's subjective to a point nowadays, but you need real men. This world, this planet that we live on was founded on real men and real women.
Yep.
You need strong people. You need people that are willing to fight when others are being defeated and they can't stand up for themselves.
Exactly.
You need people to stand. What are we going to do? Like who's going to stand up to the kid? The kid that's being bullied, who's going to stand up for him? If you have all these people that are like, oh no, I'm not getting involved. You do a greater injustice in society by not getting involved in doing something and by keeping your mouth shut than speaking up and fighting back against injustice and what's wrong.
Yeah, that's right. And you see those videos too, but it's coming out against Asian, and they pick a culture and they figure out this is going to be our flavor of the week, basically.
Yeah.
But you see, it happened to be an African American guy, just boom, cold cocked this Asian lady, knocked her on the ground. All the men are standing around just looking.
Those aren't men.
Back where I'm from, back in the day, it would have been, hey man, what the hell are you doing?
Those aren't men.
Those
aren't real men.
And that's the problem.
Yeah, a real man is going to intervene and do something about that.
Exactly. Break it up or intervene or something. We're out of time, my friend. How can they find you online, or where do you want people to reach at?
You can call me 813-426-1588. You can look me up at blackbelt_jitsu, or just anytime you catch me in the street, just say what's up. I'll talk to you.
Good stuff. All right, Alex Lima, thanks for coming in, my friend.
Anytime, brother.
Appreciate you. Coming up, we got our contractor expert contributor, Fred Muth. Tampa Screens and Aluminum here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We're going to talk about contracting, going to talk about the labor crisis, the supply chain of materials and building supplies, permitting, what's going on in the permitting offices here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. We'll be right back after this short break. ConsumerQB.com.
Hey, I'm Ken Shamrock, and you're here with Consumer Quarterback Show. And I say, Brandon Rhymes, knock out your competition.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
This is Diane Vance with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man, Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the real estate quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in 813-773-1253. Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing at 813-773-1253. Check out ConsumerQB.com. Selling commercial or residential property? Don't leave money on the table. List with the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. I'm Brandon Rhymes. Reach me at 813-670-7372 or PlatinumMVPteam.com.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at ConsumerQB.com.
And we're back. Brandon Rhymes here, Consumer Quarterback Show, Platinum MVP team, Keller Williams Realty. We help you win in your real estate deals. If you're buying, selling, or investing, we would love to talk to you. We feature our real estate listings live on air as well. Every day, we'd like to tell you something good in our feel-good story of the day.
Tell me something good.
So I love this one. I love this story here. Veteran donates 36 acres of land to build retreat for homeless vets struggling with addiction. Veteran Marty Weber was offered $3 million for a property by a commercial developer, and he said he turned it down. He He said, no, I'm going to build a retreat for homeless veterans struggling with addiction. Last month, Weber signed a letter of intent to donate 36 acres of wooded property in New Jersey for use as a group home rehab facility and a quiet retreat for homeless veterans struggling with addiction and mental illness. Weber met with Jeff Poisson, while serving in the U.S. military. They became business partners for 3 decades before Poisson died years ago of bladder cancer at age 56. Weber said they had always envisioned somehow using their property to help fellow veterans. And, quote, we thought about cemetery for the vets, Weber said, but it's going to keep them alive. But this is going to keep them alive. The vision for Jeff's camp was an 8,000 square foot building, which would be divided between facilities, treatment facilities operated by New Life Addiction Services, and a thrift store run by Just Believe, a nonprofit organization helping the homeless and disenfranchised. The New Life's chief medical officer, Dr. John Savon, said the combination of treatment facility, permanent residence, and retreat was unique as far as he knew. And he said that this would be great in natural surroundings and benefit everything from low blood pressure and improved health. And the estimated cost would be $2.5 million, and he believes that they could raise that through grants and contributions. So shout out to that gentleman right there, veteran Marty Weber. He's offering to build that awesome facility for our veterans. So shout out to the veterans out there, and shout out to Fred Muth, Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Hey, Fred.
Hey, congratulations to you and your wife.
Thank you very much, my friend. I appreciate that.
Very, very good. I was out with the mighty Matt DeMaio the other day. We had lunch together. Speaking of real men, there's a guy. You know Matt, the memory expert.
Yeah, I like Matt a lot.
We were talking everything from politics to music. You know, him and I, we had to cut it short or we'd still be there days later.
Yeah,
guy. And he can talk. He can really talk. Very interesting man. Anyway, you were mentioning in our business, the permitting, the supplies, the labor, these are all terrible things to talk about, in my opinion. Just kidding.
Yeah, right.
Anyway.
Well, it's room for improvement. We'll put it that way. Say it nicely, right?
Yeah, that's it. That's a good way to put it. The permitting, I believe, is starting to go a little faster. And I don't want to jinx myself. I just received 4 or 5 permits that were applied for in early May. So that's less than the 3-month timeline that we've been waiting typically. So I think that's starting to improve, hopefully. Now, supplies are still, a very, very short supply of supplies. Supplies are probably the hardest part of our business right now. I had to call a couple of my customers regarding special order doors that they ordered, and I had to explain to them that they're no longer available because of the supply chain. And, something that they want, they can't get. And that's kind of sad because, in this business, we were always able to supply anything that they needed at whatever price they wanted to pay. But boy, it's coming to a halt. Things are really drying up. We can't get the material as quick as we'd like to. I guess you're hearing that as well in your business, aren't you, Brandon?
Yeah, especially on the building side, the construction side, you see that, the challenges that are there, the permitting. The labor crisis is something that's continuing whenever you have a federal government that's just pumping out free cash, handing money away and giving people a reason to stay at home. The equivalent of $15 an hour is typically what I hear. It's a challenge, to say the least. It's a challenge for small business owners, and I think that's the challenge that people realize and see. And there's one segment of our country that doesn't really care much for the small business owner, in my opinion. They pander to the corporations and large globalist multinational corporations that I won't say their names, but you know who they are. But when it comes to local here in Tampa Bay, what are you seeing on a local level, Fred?
It's rough. Labor is very difficult. My guy that does my concrete shared a story with me this morning. He had a 7,000 square foot, 100-yard pour, and in the past he could snap his fingers and get labor. He says, I couldn't snap my fingers enough to get these guys in there. He says, I can't find them. They're not available. And I said, what did you do? So he was explaining to me what he did, but he finally got it done. But finding these people, at one time you could just find these people to go to work. And it's really not about the limited amount of money that somebody wants to pay, because people are paying good money for labor. It's just that the lack of the labor, the people don't want to work in some cases. And I think we've talked about that on several shows in the past. When you get free money, why go to work? Well, that's not the way I think, but that's what's going on out there. Yeah. And it's not going to bring us to our knees, but it's hurt it's very painful when you're in business, and obviously we're a small business and we're not big business, and small business really hurts when we can't get people in there to do the work. Hurts bad.
Yeah, it does. It really does.
Better times are coming. Better. I recall back in 04 and 03 and 02, it was very similar. We had similar issues. The boom was tremendous back then. The market was tremendous. And we shared these same problems where labor was at a premium and, if you could get it, and supplies were somewhat at a premium. We got through it. But so we're gonna survive again without fail. But it's just a little more. You have to put a little more effort into what you're doing to make these things work. Because I was looking at my collection of jobs in progress. It's well over 60, and that's a lot of business right now. I had a guy call me the other day about a footer, and I said, "Sir, I don't even know what this job is about." He goes, "Well, we signed it up 2 months ago." I said, "Oh, geez, I'm sorry, I forgot. I got too many jobs in progress."
Right.
It's just amazing. But that's what happens, and it'd be nice to get this collection of projects underway and get them built and move on. But I'm still taking 40 to 50 leads a week right now, Brandon.
Wow,
that's more leads than anybody needs. But we're taking them, and we have to talk to the people and let them know that we're a little behind on getting them measured. And it's not just Tampa Screens; it's all of the screen companies. We have friendly competitors out there that we know, and we all share the same stories basically. So it's all good.
We contracted on the pool finally, and I think that's the same process. Pool construction, the screen room, lanais, what you're doing. We were given a target date of about 9 to 10 or 11 months. For a pool.
Wow. Okay, so the pool's going in between the back of the house and the lake.
That's right. Yes, sir.
Oh, yeah. Oh, that's going to be beautiful back there. So
can't wait.
Call me when you're ready for the cage.
There we go. Right. Yeah. It's yeah, man. So let's talk a little bit about the product itself. I want to have John pull your website up too, because you've got some of those new products as well for the folks watching our show version on YouTube, maybe Facebook stream or Amazon, Apple, Roku. They can actually see online the Tampa Screens in aluminum. Some of the products that you have. You got some really unique options now.
Yeah, the panoramic view is a very good choice in today's world. And I've been in this business since 1992. And way back then, people wanted the full view on the back, and there was no engineering for it. And, it was very, their houses had a beautiful backdrop, up in Avila and some of these places where it goes down to the lake, and we couldn't give them what we wanted. So the engineering came out on that product, and I'm just taking a wild guess. I'm going to say about 10 years ago, it was pretty much approved, and it's not only Tampa Screens does it. A lot of the competitors do it as well. Well, we can stretch these panels out. I don't like to go beyond about a 25-foot run side to side without extra posts. In other words, on a 75-foot rear wall, I can go with 3 open panels as opposed to 10. Back before the engineering was there, you had 10, and you'd have all these uprights, and you'd have the chair rail, and you have a beautiful lake behind your house, and you can't see the lake because of the uprights and the chair rail. So with this panel view, you eliminate the chair rail and you eliminate the majority of the uprights, and you get a nice big wide open view to the back. And to me, that's a beautiful product. I can do it on the back wall. I can do it on the side walls. You can build a whole cage out of with a panoramic view, which we've done quite a few. I just finished one in River Hills the other day, and I got to get down and get a look at it because it's a little bit unusual. And of course, the unusual jobs I like to take photos of. I'll take a few photos, send them over to you.
Fred, what's the best place to get a hold of you?
Best thing to do is call into the office, 813-960-7064. The majority of the leads come through by phone. You can always go to our website, tampascreensandaluminum.com. You don't want to call me direct because my phones never stop ringing. So just call into the office. That's the best way to do it. 813-960-7064.
The Tin Man on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Thanks a lot, Fred. We appreciate you.
Very nice talking to you. Take care. Bye-bye.
Good to talk to you, buddy. All right, that's Tampa Screens and Aluminum. Had another great show today on the program today. Alex Lima as well. And we want you to please go out there and consider committing a random act of kindness. Do something kind for one another. Be a force for good in the community. And we'll see you next time right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Check out consumerqb.com. TheConsumerQB.com.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Contact Brandon Rhymes at 813-670-7372. That's 813-670-7372. Online at ConsumerQB.com. And join us next time for The Consumer Quarterback Show.